Hey good people, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you all my review on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12, Episode 14. Let's go. So the episode opens up with PK and Dorit. They are at the dentist getting their teeth cleaned. Y'all, they showed a before and after of PK's teeth. Ooh, is all I can say. Oh my God, I can't believe Dorit said that she married that man because she loves him, because them teeth, he has some terrible teeth, and he actually had gotten his teeth redone, and I think he said that he's had his teeth done now for 2 years, and she's saying in her confessional that he is smiling all the time, and I don't blame him, because if your teeth look the way that his teeth looked before, and you got your teeth done, and your teeth is given the way it's supposed to be given, I would be smiling all the time too. So shout out to PK for recognizing this is not gonna work no more and getting his teeth done. Dorit also got her teeth done. The only difference I really saw, I felt like the teeth that she had before was just fine. Maybe she needed to get some more like teeth whitening. At most, what I would say with Dorit's teeth is that she just probably needed some teeth whitening. I didn't see nothing else wrong with the ones that she had before. To be honest, they both looked like they were, what do they call those? They both veneers. So, she just needed a little teeth whitening to me. Dorit discusses with her dentist that she is a part of a charity called Homeless Not Toothless, and she basically asks the dentist if he and his wife would be willing to come to a fundraiser that she's going to be hosting for the charity, and of course the dentist was like, yes, we will show up, we will come. And he also offered to give someone special a new smile, which I thought was really, really nice. I know that dental work, especially when you want to get all of your teeth redone, is not cheap at all, and it's great that he is offering that. Now with the charity name, I do know that this is, people are feeling a certain type of way about it. When I first heard it, Homeless Not Toothless, I was just like, that doesn't really make any sense. Wouldn't your first objective be to try to help that person get into a home? In my opinion, the teeth would be secondary, and I still kind of feel that way, to be honest. I'm a little thrown off by the name because I don't want to be homeless and I certainly don't want to be toothless, but if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather have shelter. But anyway, we could look past the name and just appreciate what this organization is doing to help these people. So kudos to Dorit, and also she did say that Sharon Stone was a neighbor of hers at one point, and she's actually on the board for this charity and brought Dorit on. Next, we are headed over to Sutton's store. Crystal stops by, and Sutton explains to Crystal that a lot of her employees are starting to get COVID, I guess. So she's like, do you want to work for me? And Crystal's like, well, you're gonna have to pay me a whole lot if you want me to work for you. So Sutton says to her, well, I only pay commission. And Crystal's looking around the store like, store's empty, so I'm probably not gonna make nothing if I work here. I thought that was pretty funny. You know that Bravo and their production team are very shady, so the fact that they're panning around Sutton's store and there's not one customer in there was hilarious to me. Crystal, of course, brings up the fight that Sutton and Lisa had the night before, and Crystal tells Sutton, listen, Lisa is very angry with you. Sutton says to Crystal, I think it's funny that she's very angry with me, but we went out to eat and there was no problem. As soon as she gets in front of an audience, she wants to explode on me. I totally agree with Sutton. That was my takeaway from last week's episode. I'm still dumbfounded by Lisa Rinna and the fact that she wanted to embarrass, that was her objective, to embarrass Sutton at her house. I could see if they didn't have a conversation and that was the first conversation that they had in front of the group, but they had a prior conversation. And it's just like, Lisa, at this point, everything you're doing is very see-through. It's given very, we know what you're all about. Okay, you're trying to hold on to the diamond or whatever it is that they give you. That's what you're trying to hold on to. And it's coming across as very desperate. It's coming across as very so nasty, so rude. Shout out to Nene Leakes. It's given just disgusting at this particular point in time. So Crystal wants to know from Sutton, do you want to fix things with Lisa? And Sutton is like, listen, it's not on me, it's on Lisa. I know that's right, Sutton, and you better stick to that, okay? It is on Lisa Rinna. This is her problem. It is not yours. Sutton asks Crystal, what's going on with you? And you know that she's alluding to Crystal's eating disorder. Crystal said that she did speak with Rinna the day before, And Rinna did let her know that everyone was talking about her eating disorder. And I just want to say, Lisa Rinna, everybody was not talking about Crystal's eating disorder. You and Erica were going in about her eating disorder, and Garcelle, Sutton, and Cherie pretty much stayed out of it. So Sutton is kind of looking at Crystal like she has 5 heads. I think it's funny that when they do show the flashback of Crystal and Rinna meeting up, Rinna does mention the fact that they were talking about the eating disorder, but she doesn't say anything about the type of things that she was saying, like, oh, I just don't understand why she doesn't get help. And like, to me, Lisa was trying to insinuate that maybe there was a little bit more to the eating disorder than what Crystal was revealing, and it did not seem to come from a place of concern but a place of judgment between her and Erica. That's my opinion. Apparently that's Sutton's opinion as well. She doesn't say it to Crystal. Sutton is trying to be a little careful with her words, but she does insinuate that, listen, these women are not saying that they're concerned about you. They're kind of judging you. And then, of course, Crystal is upset by this, and she says in her confessional, I feel like every time I'm trying to be vulnerable with these women, it's met with judgment. I don't want you to talk about these women, Crystal, because she says some of these women in her confessional. I want you to name names. Call these people out. If they are making you feel a certain type of way, do not lump them all together. Say who it is. Because what I'm getting from Crystal is she really plays both sides. She wants to be cool with everybody in this group. Quiet as it's kept, she more so wants to be cool with people like Lisa Rinna and Kyle, because she feels like, they have the power in this group. But girl, these are the 2 people that are judging you the most. Now, in Kyle's defense, Kyle was not there, but Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane, they're the women that you're referring to. Just come out and say who it is, okay? So we are now headed over to Diana's house, and the cat is out of the bag, y'all. Asher is going to now sing every episode we see him in. I will say, the man has a very nice voice, and I did not realize, as Diana mentions, that he was involved with Broadway from a young age. Diana says that he is sweet. She calls him a child. Girl, this is the man that you laid down with and had a baby with. This is the father of your daughter. What in the world? When she called him a child, I just thought to myself, so he was really an F-boy to start out with, and then you done messed around and had a baby by him. So now you're holding on to him. And I also really feel like they are using each other. He's using her for status and clout. She's using him to be her baby daddy. That's what is given to me at this particular point in time. She goes on to say that he needs the hardness and strength from her. And I'm like, no, ma'am, he needs your connections. And she also reveals that the miscarriage made Asher grow up. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about these 2 other than what I've already said. They're using each other to get what they want. That's all I see. I mean, when you see these 2 together, is it given that they're in love with each other? Is it given that they want to spend the rest of their life with each other? No, it's not. In the next scene, Erica comes over Kyle's house, and Kyle has arranged for them to have, I guess you would call it like a stretching session with a trainer. I didn't realize Erica Jane was as flexible as she is. The homegirl says that she has a high pain tolerance, and this man is doing all types of open leg stretches and whatnot with her, and she's just sitting there like cool, calm, and collected. Kyle, on the other hand, who does a split every party that she attends, seems to be struggling with the stretching and really is uncomfortable, which surprised the mess out of me. She says that she was born with something and it makes you like ultra flexible, but it also causes other problems that she has, like her arms and her legs could go numb and different things like that. So I guess for her, it's a gift and a curse. So of course, Kyle being, well, Kyle, she brings up when Garcelle is talking about Erica's drinking. She's basically trying to make it seem like Garcelle is not coming from a place of concern, but she's coming from a place of judgment towards Erica. Erica says to Kyle that she is so sick and tired of everybody talking about her drinking. She said it's not a problem. Erica, I totally disagree with you. You are getting piss poor drunk. okay? Or at least acting like you're piss poor drunk, falling up flights of stairs, cursing out people's children, hitting your head. I mean, like, what else do you need to happen to you for you to realize that, yes, girl, you're starting to develop a problem? She says in her confessional that she basically hates everything about her life right now. So Kyle is saying that she's confused about the charity. She's not understanding exactly what it is. The name is definitely throwing her off. Homeless, not toothless. And then she proceeds to make little jokes about it, like, should we bring our spare teeth? I don't think that's funny. Okay, like, this is not something that is a joke to the person who formed this charity, and I'm sure that this is not a joke to the people that this charity helps. And to make light of even the name, okay, so the name is a little confusing, but they're trying to do good work to help people. And for you to sit up there and make jokes about it, it just shows how out of touch she is. And she really should be ashamed of herself. For me, the way I see it, there by the grace of God goes I. Okay, that could be me. In the next scene, everyone is getting ready for the charity event. Sutton and Garcelle said that they are ready. Whatever needs to come our way, let's go. Okay, they didn't say that last part, but you know, they're ready to see these ladies. We are at Dorit's house, and she looks absolutely stunning in her gold and black dress. The hair, everything was on point. We know Dorit is definitely a fashionista, and it seems like, considering how she was coming across the first couple of episodes after this alleged robbery, it seems like she has gotten herself back on track with the looks, because she is giving it. Okay, her house looks beautiful. I think PK put together the decorations, or at least was the point man for the decorations, and everything is gold and black. It's beautiful. Dorit says in her confessional that she asks all of her guests to wear black and gold, so I guess it's like Diana, Kathy Hilton, and someone else. And Kathy it's like, Kathy is saying, you know, this is important work. You need your teeth. And, you know, you can't talk without your teeth. I am too through with Kathy Hilton. These things that she says, it's like, Kathy, what in the world? You can still talk not having any teeth. You're not going to come across as clear as you would like, but girl, you can still talk. What are you talking about? Kathy's vibe to me is, girl, what are you talking about? I just feel like Kathy is always like lost in the sauce somewhere. I don't know if she gets high. I don't know what she does, but she's just, her mind is totally out there, okay? Sutton arrives, and she and Lisa kind of give a fake embrace, and I'm just over the fakeness. Now, y'all don't mess with each other, and that's okay. Say hi, give a little wave, and keep it moving. It's PK, Erica, and Mauricio, and they're talking about this whole DUI that PK got. PK says that he had just went to Lionel Richie's opening in Las Vegas, and he went out to dinner with Lionel and John Legend. And of course, shortly after, on the way home, he was pulled over. He kind of made it seem like he was grateful that everything happened the way that it happened, because as he puts it, when you think you are okay, you may not be. And he looks directly at Erica as he's saying this, and she looks like she don't know what the heck he's talking about. But that is just, you know, a little word for Erica. Girl, you might think you okay, but you're not okay. So PK and Mauricio are talking about everybody's outfits, and PK is like, listen, if you had to name who's the best dressed or whatever, which person would you choose? Mind you, she can't be your wife, and she can't be my wife. Mauricio chooses Lisa Rinna. Kyle, you better watch out. And PK chooses Erica. Dorit. Now, you know Erica is red tea, and she already reveals in her confessional that she wants somebody that's older than her. I think PK might fit the bill. I don't know. He got his new teeth and everything. So, Dorit, you better be careful. So everybody is seated at the table, and the way that Dorit has everything set up, it's almost like in a U type of shape. So Garcelle and Sutton are on one side of the table, which is really, you know, it's far. Kyle and her husband, as well as Dorit and PK, are in the middle area of the table, and Lisa Rinna, Diana, and Erica Jane are on the opposite side of Sutton and Garcelle. Because of how everything is set up, if Sutton wanted to talk to, let's say, Erica, she would literally have to scream across the room to speak with Erica. I don't really care for this setup. I have to be honest with you. I don't really like it. So Erica and Rinna, in my opinion, are loudly discussing what Erica should drink. And I'm just, at this point, so over Erica and her drinking, because I'm not buying the whole act that she's trying to put out there. I don't think that she has a drinking problem. I don't think that she's mixing alcohol with pills. I just think that she does not want to have to answer to what's going on in her personal life. And the best way to try to handle something like that is to get people to talk about something else. And the something else that they're talking about is her alleged drinking problem. So here goes Diana in her confessional talking about when she was in her 20s, she depended on a charity to have her wisdom teeth removed. And then she goes on to say, but, you know, her wisdom teeth grew back. Ma'am, something just did not sit right with me as she was saying this. So I decided to do a little Google search. And come to find out, your wisdom teeth do not grow back. There are other teeth that can grow anywhere in your mouth. I forget the name of them. Maybe that's what she's referring to, but it's certainly not your wisdom teeth. So I don't know if she's intentionally lying or what. I had a question for y'all. Was Garcelle over there at the table flirting with Dr. Sam? Because to me, that's what it was given. Garcelle is telling him that she has 3 children. She's saying that she's never had any Botox. And Dr. Sam said, well, you know, black don't crack. I'm like, yes, Dr. Sam. Let it be known, black does not crack. Here goes Kyle. Of course, we can't have Kyle back without Kyle being messy. So she says to Garcelle and Sutton, I heard that Lisa told you to get the F out of her house. But Lisa is saying that she didn't say that to you. So they show a flashback of Kyle and Lisa talking. And Lisa says, no, I didn't tell Sutton to get the F out. And Lisa is actually correct. She did not tell Sutton to get the F out. But she did say something like Sutton shut the F up or something to that effect, followed by get out of my house. Sutton is saying to Kyle, you know, I really don't want to discuss this. I don't think that this is the time. And instead of Kyle respecting Sutton's wishes, she goes on to ask Dorit, did Lisa tell Sutton to get the F out? And of course, Dorit is like, yes, she did. So then Kyle proceeds to yell across the table to Lisa, see, you did tell her to get the F out of your house. And of course, this starts the whole thing all over again with Sutton and Lisa. I don't understand why Kyle just can't learn to shut her mouth. I don't understand why she has such an issue with Sutton. What is it about Sutton that drives Kyle crazy? If you know, please put it in the comments. I need you to help me understand because I'm not able to wrap my mind around this. Other than the fact that Sutton would appear to be the weakest link out of everyone in the group, the easiest target, I don't understand why Kyle is doing the things that she's doing to this woman. And at a charity event, nonetheless. In Garcelle's confessional, she says Kyle is always ready to throw Sutton under the bus. Totally agree. And I'm starting to get a little bit upset with Sutton because she's just allowing these women to do and say whatever they want to do and say to her. I'm glad that she's found her voice and she's defending herself, but I'm going to need her to do just a little bit more to keep these women in check. Someone tell me why Mauricio has his arm around PK. Like, what is going on between Mauricio and PK? Mauricio arrived to the party and PK had like a belt. I don't know if it was Gucci or whatever type of belt he had for Mauricio to put on. Are y'all like partners in crime or something and you looking out for one another? What's going on? So here goes the fight between Lisa and Sutton. Lisa wants Sutton to publicly apologize. And if I'm Sutton, I'm not publicly apologizing about near doggone thing. At the end of the day, Sutton didn't do anything wrong. Lisa, you are mad because Sutton called you out and you did something and you were found to be a liar and you just can't handle that. This is what this is really all about. And not only is it about that, but I also believe that Lisa is still trying to get at Garcelle for how Garcelle was looking at her last year as it relates to the whole Denise Richards thing. Okay. One thing about Lisa is she's very vindictive and she's very spiteful. And I think that she's one of those type of people that she has great patience in the sense that she will sit and wait before she unloads on you. So it might be a year or two, but trust and believe, Lisa Rinna is coming for you. That's what I'm getting from her as I watch her on this show. I think that Sutton is really just collateral damage. She's trying to come for Garcelle because she keeps trying to get Sutton to say, you know, well, why did you do what you did? When you tell me why you did what you did, then I'll let it go. She actually says this to Sutton and then goes on to tell her, why is it your problem and not Garcelle's? This is what I'm talking about. Lisa has an issue really with Garcelle. Crystal's getting all up in arms in the confessional because she's like, you know what? My friends are here and they're sending me texts asking me what the F is going on here. I know that's right, Crystal. I'd be a little upset too. I would be embarrassed by the way that Lisa is handling this thing. Completely embarrassed. Erica's sitting there not saying a word. Kyle's not saying a word. Garcelle is not saying anything. This is awful. It really, truly is. You guys are supposed to be out here donating money to help this charity. Now let this have happened at Kyle's event and let's see how she would have taken that. They showed a flashback earlier of Kyle and Lisa discussing this whole thing where Lisa is kicking Sutton out of her house. And Lisa kind of says something like, well, Sutton wasn't saying and doing the things that I wanted her to do. So you want Sutton to do what you want her to do. And as long as she plays by your rules, she's okay. Sutton is her own woman. That might have been okay the last year or the year before that. But this year, this is a whole new Sutton and she's not taking no crap. Let me tell y'all, Sutton's been on point with these receipts. She's been on point for the most part with standing up for herself. I'm really enjoying her. Lisa says that Harry said that you did not respond to him. And she's talking about this text message. And I believe that it was really Lisa who wrote the text message trying to say that it was Harry. I don't think Harry really cares. Harry is like the male version of Kathy to me. He's just out there. Whatever world is in his mind that he is living in, that is what he is doing, okay? He don't care nothing about these women and what's going on and what they are or aren't saying about him and his wife. The man could care less. As a matter of fact, I think out of all the housewives' husbands, Harry is probably the one that you see the least out of all of these husbands on this show, on these shows. And I'm talking about across the whole Real Housewives franchise. So that says a lot. Sutton says to Lisa, girl, I've sent a very thoughtful text to him. And in her confessional, she reads what she wrote to him, which I thought was really nice of her. Lisa wants to know, what made you do what you did? That's the answer that I want. And when I get it, I will let it go. So again, she's just trying to make Sutton say, the reason why I did it is because I was helping and defending my friend Garcelle. Kyle says that this whole situation is escalating to an uncomfortable situation. Gee, I wonder why, Kyle. Sutton told you she didn't want to talk about it. She asked you to just zip it and you didn't want to abide. So now it's turned into all of this. So Dorit gets control of the party and she tells everybody to just be quiet. The lights dim and she has a special guest. When this guest walked out, I'm with Kathy Hilton. Who the hell is this? I was like, I don't know this lady. You know, this is not Boy George. This is not somebody that I would be like, oh, okay, I know who they are. I had no idea who this woman was or what her music was about until she got the hook. I was like, oh, thank God for the hook. Come to my window. I think her name is Lisa Etheridge or something like that. I believe that's her name. We just gonna call her Miss Etheridge. She did her little thing. Everybody was so grateful, so happy. Kyle was like fanning out. So I guess the song must have moved Lisa because she starts breaking down and explaining to the women that she's going through a lot and it's because her mom passed away and blah, 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 blah. Lisa, I'm not trying to be insensitive, so please don't come for me. But it's like, Lisa, your mom was a woman of a particular age, okay? And she lived her life. Now, having been someone who's lost her mother, I get like grief. Grief is what it is. But girl, all I can say is Academy Award goes to Lisa Rinna because this whole act that she's putting on is complete BS. BS. Her goal and her objective this season, along with Erica, was to try to make Sutton look bad. And every chance that they've gotten, minus one trip when they went, I forget where they were at, and Sutton actually walked away from the table very upset. With the exception of that, they have not been successful in their quest to come for Miss Sutton. So my thing is, girl, just leave it alone, okay? This is not the same Sutton. You keep pushing, you keep poking this bear, and this bear is going to bite. Like I said, Lisa is boo-hooing and crying over her mother and blaming everything on the death of her mother. It's not coming across to me as believable at all. It's just, we have seen this behavior from you over the years. Not just with Sutton, but with Lisa Vanderpump, with Kim Richards, this is not our first rodeo with you in this behavior. That is pretty much my review, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.